Okay, what is happening, party people? How we feeling on a Roby Tuesday? We're robed up. Tony, you've transitioned to a thicker kind of fabric there. I'm still kind of rocking the summer light Don Draper robe. I always think about this thin robe when I put it on. I think about Don Draper in Mad Men when his wife kicked him out of the house. He's living in some like crummy apartment and he's just getting housed. And he's wearing a robe like this. And I remember there's one scene where Draper wakes up on the couch, reaches over for a bottle of whiskey, his hands like this, Tony, his hands shake. And he like pours the whiskey, goes all over the table. He's just housed. So anyway, this is the robe that represents Don Draper at his lowest moment. How about you in the thick fabrics? I got robe envy, buddy. I got to be honest. You look great over there. Kind of a Hugh Hefner vibe, but warmer. So my hat's off to you. You're looking good.
This is the original robe from our first Roby Tuesday, Paulie, and it's my winter robe. So I'm not in winter mode yet.
Right.
But I'm beginning to start to slowly transition into the wintry vibe. And I love winter for what it is. I love the snow. I love fires in the fireplace. I love, my slippers are out much more.
You keep talking about slippers. You're like very excited about. Boy, I'll tell you the truth. When I first met Tony, he was a cool, like punk rock kind of hippie hybrid dude. And now he's talking slippers. You know what I mean? We know we're in our 50s now. Because back when I met Tony, he was probably 26, 27. He wasn't talking about slippers back in the day. No. But now we're talking slippers, robes. Welcome to your 50s, buddy.
And also, you know how I know I'm getting older, dude? I'm becoming more and more anti-laces, shoelaces, dude. Just give me slip-ons. Give me, like, I got a pair of Birkenstocks for, was it Christmas last year? And I've worn those almost every day. Shout out Bob Weir's my inspiration. I've worn those almost every day because just no socks, no laces. Just slip them on and let's go.
Bobby Weir, Bobby, yeah.
Well, and they're also like walking orthotics too, because the nice hump on the Birkenstock to get your, everything.
That's why I wear them, y'all. I like to go open toe at Golden Gate Pub. By the way, Bobby Weir on stage with basically no socks on, wearing those Birkenstocks. It was like 45 degrees in Golden Gate Park, dude, at those shows. It was really good. I don't feel a thing, y'all. My toes are out. So Tony,
real quick, Bonnie Scarlet Fire asking in the chat, do I wear Birkenstocks with socks? No, I do not, Bonnie. But those are the sandal Birkenstocks. The Birkenstocks, I forget the name of them, but the clog ones I do wear with socks in the winter. I'm about to transition into those as well, Paulie, from the sandal to the clog, and I'm just basically anti-lace for the rest of my days.
From the sandal to the clog. Okay, here's the situation. By the way, Tony will be wearing socks with his Birkenstocks. That's in his 60s. He's still got a few more years before he transitions into that. But because you keep saying the word transition, you said I'm transitioning twice in your opening comments. I want to ask everybody, not just Creative Tony, my main man, but the entire PMP community. And good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, I should say. And that includes you at the Cron 4 family. How we doing over there, Chronics? What's up, Instagram people? What's up, Twitter folks? Great to have everybody on board. And then our home crowd. It's like a home game with the comments line over here. Here's my question regarding transitioning. Are you and the PMP community at large, are we all ready to transition to the point where we're going to accept the Great White North and the Toronto Blue Jays as our saviors? Are we ready to transition to become like honorary Canadian citizens? Because I tell you what, bro, I got my Rush albums out. I got a picture of Gordie Howe on the wall with Wayne Gretzky and Dan Aykroyd and Neil Young. You know what? I'm all Canada all the time until the Dodgers fall. And I'm giving the Blue Jays a chance. I'm giving them a fighter's chance.
Can we also bring out the coo from the McKenzie brothers, dude? We might have to just get them involved as well. The Great White North, Paulie. I am all for it. Like I said, whoever won that game last night, I'm jumping on their bandwagon. Tip of the cap to the Mariners, man. What a season. What a run.
Those poor bastards. Poor bastards. They had two nights to get there. They couldn't get it done. They had a 2-run lead in game 7, and it was just, the Blue Jays have that magic right now. Kind of reminded me of the Giants in 2014, the Ishikawa home run. It's just like they got the magic dust on them right now, man.
And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is just an absolute stud.
I love that. I want to grab him and hug him. I love that little kid with his innocence in the face, and I love the whole thing. Yeah,
Ernie Clement, number 22. That kid's
my man Springer. What do you need? A big bomb? Send in George Springer. He's got you covered.
By the way, just a testament to the game of baseball. Springer got drilled on the kneecap, right? On the kneecap. I can't tell you how painful that must have been.
I don't even like thinking about it. Yeah.
Right? And he comes back and he plays game 6, game 7. Dude, he looked bad in his previous at bat. I just rewatched it like an hour ago. He looked awful in his
not
previous
bad like Michael Jackson. You know I'm bad. Shamal, you're talking about bad like not good bad.
I'm talking bad as in like sometimes bad is bad.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Shout out Huey Lewis, man. Yeah.
Totally. But he looked bad. He flailed at like some outside sliders, and I'm like, ooh. And then, dude, to watch that at bat, second pitch fastball, he jumps on it, and it was very Joe Carter-esque the way he just jumped down the first baseline, and that crowd is going bonkers, dude. And like you talked about earlier, the Ishikawa, very reminiscent of like an Ishikawa type home run, where that was just like, I was so happy for all those fans going nuts in those bleachers.
Those fans are amazing. I got to tell you, those Toronto Blue Jay fans, I mean, they really brought the noise last night. So Tony,
also real quick, Paulie, before I just gotta say, John Smoltz again. I have like a man crush on John Smoltz. First of all, because he's a bald man and he's represents the bald community very well. And also because he's such a great baseball mind, dude. He talks. So Woo comes in. Woo is normally a starter for the Mariners. He starts talking about how yes, Woo's got great stuff, but don't underestimate the fact that his heart is pounding through his chest, and it's a completely different type of adrenaline than it is for starting a game as a starting pitcher. And I'm like, dude, that kind of analysis, man. And then he talks about how don't count the Blue Jays out when they're down 3-1. Talks about how they led MLB with 17 come from behind wins after 6 innings, dude. Like, I'm just like, this guy is incredible. And then bam, it happens. And by the way, another lesson to kids out there: leadoff walks, man. Leadoff walks will kill you. 2-out walks will kill you. What happened in the 7th inning, the bottom of the 7th? Leadoff walk. Then a single, then Springer. Actually, sorry. After the single, my next lesson to the kids out there: dropping down the bunt, the sacrifice bunt, runners second and third, and then Springer goes deep. It was a beautiful inning of baseball. It really was. And tip of the cap to the Mariners, but also let's go Blue Jays. Come on.
Yeah, let's go Jays. I'm singing Tom Sawyer. I'm waving the Maple Leaf flag. I'm doing the whole thing. So here's what's going on today. A couple of quick announcements. First of all, special guest joining us in about less than 10 minutes. We'll have Paul Tonelli, the PA announcer at Levi Stadium. You hear him at every Niner game. And obviously the legendary, he'll be in the Radio Hall of Fame soon enough. But the Lamont and Tonelli show, which no longer exists, just like the Murph and Mac show no longer exists. I got a lot in common with Tonelli, by the way. Anyway, so Paul joins us, and he's just a great guy to talk Niners with. I mean, Paul goes back to Kezar, man. So think about, like, my first Niner game was 1976, Candlestick Park. Tonell goes back to freaking Kezar, man. So he is one of my, I respect his Niner takes more than most. So he's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Also, very happy to announce that, and I'm going to keep saying this until someone proves me wrong, the greatest tight end in San Francisco 49er history. Maybe you've heard of him. His name is Brent Jones. He will join us on Thursday. So we're going to sit down with Brent. Has not one, not two, 3 Super Bowl rings. That's back in the days when the Niners used to go to Super Bowls and then come home with the trophy. Not anymore. Yeah.
Paulie, do you think he'll join us from his man cave with all of his gear?
I hope so.
I mean, I'm going to text him and say, Brent, I'm actually going to kind of demand that you join us from the man cave, because and dude, he did a tour on Tolbert's show of his whole room. It's incredible. Maybe he'll give us a tour as well. And Paulie, while we're doing business, can I talk a little business as well?
Well, I got a couple more announcements if I could. I'm working. Yeah. I just want to do show stuff first. Then you handle all the business, and we're getting there. So hang on, T. Paul Tonelli coming up in a minute. Brent Jones on Thursday. Also, Scarlet Fire. No pre-show post of the day today. Rather, it's a question from me, and it's going out to my girl Bonnie. Bonnie, here's my question. You have the handle Scarlet Fire, which I love. I'm a Scarlet Fire head. My question to you is, and just write it and send it in anytime. I've been meaning to ask you this for months. What's your favorite version of Scarlet Fire? Give me the show date. I'm looking for that from you today. Also,
that's a loaded question. Wow. Do you have a favorite?
Loaded. What? This is how deadheads talk to each other. I don't know what are you talking about?
There's many to choose from.
Like saying, what's your favorite Tim Lincecum start? Like, what's the problem?
There's more than one favorite Tim Lincecum start. Come on.
Hence the question, what's your favorite? I can't believe you're like challenging this. What? I don't understand. Your lack of understanding, I don't understand.
I'm not challenging. I'm saying that is a heavy question that's going to take her some time to really consider what is her favorite. That's what I'm saying. That's all. It's just
All right, I'll let you run with that. All right, fair enough. Anyway, Scarlet Fire, I need your favorite Scarlet Fire. Send it in. Don't pay attention to Tony on that one. All right, number 2.
always pay attention to me, Bonnie. Always pay attention to me. We're SI Wildcats. We're birthday twins too, by the way. And also, Paulie, while we're at it, I got to get it right to the gates. Escobar Cheeks III is a super. He says hashtag F Shady Shohei and that F Shady Shohei, that hoser. Stand with thee. Nice, dude. Nice.
Oh, you want to see me fight Tony? I'll fight Tony all day. I'll make this show one long fight if that's what you guys are looking for. I'll fight him tooth and nail because Bonnie and I can handle this game. Totally. I'll fight him all day. All right. Also, one last thing for the PNP community. Stevie Bisecchio, let me tell you what, buddy, your name popped up last night on a conversation I was having with Dom and Tony. And I have I don't want to get into this on the air, but let me just say this. We have an idea that we want to bounce off you, dude. So why don't you get your butt to Long Bridge on 10/27? I don't know if you bought a ticket yet, but I need to see you there. We got some ideas we want to bounce off you and see where your head's at. So hope to see you there. All right, Tony, I believe now you can handle your business, and then we'll do a spot, and then we'll bring it to Nell.
Well, first of all, I want to mention Ray Goodman was a super yesterday that we did not get to because we honored Cheeks' super already here in the program. But Ray was a super yesterday. I want to give a shout out to Ray, and he was our winner for the Petty Theft tickets over the weekend. Yeah. And he sent in pictures that we'll share tomorrow night on the night flight. But I want to say thank you for the super yesterday, Ray. And we will share the pictures on tomorrow night's night flight. It's more of a night flight conversation, I feel like, to get into a Petty Theft recap. But that band is damn good. If you get a chance to see them, go check them out. Like you said, Monroe Grisman, Sam Grisman's brother.
Guy rules. Yeah. Murph went to high school. They were like buddies in high school. Yeah, they grew up together.
Totally. Yeah. So it's just a very, very good scene around Petty Theft, around the Grisman home, around the Grisman family. It's just a good vibe. So,
dude, this is why I asked the question. Now watch me fight Tony some more. Hey, Scarlet Fire, I did not expect that answer, but I totally support it. She's saying 8-3. 25, the Scarlet Fire Dead and Company did in the park with Trey Anastasio. It was amazing. That was the high point of all 3 shows, in my opinion. That place went, I mean, it levitated. The entire audience was off the ground during that. So great answer, Bonnie. I love where you're coming from. For myself, I might go 10/14/94. I might go Halloween night 91 in Oakland. There's so many, but I was curious, and that's a great answer, Bonnie. Thanks for that. Tony, real quick, can we do a...
Can I call foul? Can I just throw the penalty flag?
You want to just be a douchebag today? Yeah. Throw your douchebag flag. Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm going to be a douchebag. I want to know. That's Dead and Company. I want to know Grateful Dead.
Fair enough. That's a fair question. We will accept that question, Tony. That's reasonable.
Thank you, Referee Paulie. I love it. You got your stripes on today? You got your Chiefs referee shirt on today?
I do. Yeah, no, I'm looking. Yeah, Scarlet Fire. Let's do your Grateful Dead one. That's actually he's raising a good point. But the one you're talking about was incredible. I got to say, that was amazing too.
Nice.
Tony, do the ticket update for the event on Monday. Let's just help people run through how they get their tickets and all that stuff one more time before Tonelli.
Well, yeah, it's quite simple. You just go to our YouTube channel at Polymax Particles, like and subscribe while you're there, and click on the right below of the bio of our show. You'll see the links tab. You just click on that, and the link at the top is the link to buy tickets. They are selling. They're going. So. And Tolbert is going to announce on his show this week too. And I have a feeling when he announces, either he announced yesterday, is going to announce tomorrow that the tickets will go. So if you go to YouTube and at Polymax Particles, and we'll start the show around 4:00 with Tommy until about 5:00, and then it's all you can eat pizza buffet. There's going to be beer and wine, and it's going to be a hang. It's going to be Dubs Grizzlies. It's going to be a hell of a Monday, and Longbridge is closed that day. So we have the whole place to ourselves. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you just, again, go to YouTube at Polymax Particles, look on the links page underneath our bio. I can also share the fantastic artwork that Don Peralta made.
While you bring that up, Tony, let's shout out one of our favorite guys. Will Sparks is in the house. He said, favorite Dead show all time, Berkeley Community Theater, 11/3/84. Dude, I'm a little jealous. That must have been badass. I wasn't ready for that. I was still like a sophomore in high school. I wasn't there yet. But I'm glad you were. That's killer.
Also, tip of the cap to Will's daughter, Sophia. She just got a full ride to Berklee College of Music, and they just had the gig last Saturday night, opening up for Brothers Comatose, his daughter. Remember, we showed videos of his daughter?
Yeah.
So they had a gig on Saturday night at the Great American Music Hall. Will, sorry we couldn't make it, but hope the gig was great. And keep us posted on Sweet Sally and the whole future of that great bluegrass trio. Here's the poster that we're talking about that Dom made. And it says, yeah, show up around 3:30, and then we'll get everything going around 4:00. And again, there's a QR code that we'll share on our social media pages, and as well as you can go to the YouTube channel at Polymax Particles to buy tickets. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you, Tony. I don't know how many people know this or care, but I'm throwing it out there. I know John Joseph's going to be with me on this one. I don't know how many of you know this, but Ted Nugent has a song on the Cat Scratch Fever album called Sweet Sally. Sweet Sally is a friend of mine. Sweet Sally likes it double time. I'll just leave it at that. That's Terrible Ted doing his thing back in 1977. All right, Tony, do we go Los D, Arrow?
Yeah.
Paul Tonelli? Okay. So let's
get into the calculator, Paul, if you don't mind.
I demand it. Yeah, I need to be in there. Yeah.
You've
heard of the police record, Ghost in the Machine? This is PMP in the calculator. It's our answer to the police on that one. But Los D, hope you're feeling better today. It's funny because when the show ends, that's just like the beginning of the conversations with Los D that go on throughout the day into the night. We were going back and forth last night during the Game 7. We all enjoyed it. It was a classic. Great game. So Los D is taking your calls. He's taking your emails at 925-250-4894. Carlos at myflexnow.com for you Spotify, Apple Music people without the visual. All you got to do is reach out to Carlos. We don't care where you are in California. You know why? He's licensed all throughout the state. He can help you, Tony, from Shasta to Santa Barbara, from San Diego to Willits. You know what I'm saying? Up in Willits, where it gets hot. It gets really hot up in Willits. From Healdsburg to Pacifica, wherever you may be, Carlos can help you out. And again, what does he help you with? Private money loans, working on your mortgage, should you care to like reinvent that with a HELOC loan, home equity lines of credit, one of his specialties. But Tony, I'm going to yield to you because I know you got all the stats. So you speak to the greatness of Los. All I can tell you, he's a stand-up guy, San Francisco native. He's been doing this for over 25 years. He is the right guy to help you with your financial situation. T, run with it, baby.
Well, from Weed to Watsonville also, Paulie. Don't forget that.
Weed to Watson. We should do a show from Weed at some point, dude. Just a PMP broadcast live from Weed.
I have been to Weed recently on my recent drive to Bend, Oregon. I stopped in Weed. And actually, there's a whole store dedicated to just weed memorabilia, and it's very hilarious, dude. Enjoy weed, and it's like, you know, all different ways that you can play on weed. And then you walk in the door, and it's you almost feel like you should hear
herb. Herb is a plant. Herbs are good for everything.
It's almost like you should hear that walking into Weed, California. So, Paulie, back to Los and Carlos de la Fuente and Flex Funding. Okay, the rate basis point drop, the program drop that was set to expire September 15th was extended to October 1st and has now been extended the third time to October 30th. Today is October 21st. You have 9 days to take advantage of this with Carlos de la Fuente. Give him a ring if you are interested in talking to him about this or about anything. Get creative. Carlos will get creative with you as well. But again, I've mentioned this example many times, but he had a client, $545,000 loan, 763 credit score. They were quoted 6.375 rate without the incentive. With the incentive, 5.875. Literally saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars. My dear friend Pete Hoffman, who just did business with Carlos de la Fuente last week, wrapped it up. He told me, I had dinner with Pete the other night. He says, Carlos is saving me almost $1,000 a month. I mean, it's just crazy the kind of money that Carlos is saving people like Pete Hoffman, and he can save you money too. Give him a call, 925-250-4894, 925-250-4894. Carlos will take care of you, and if it's not the right time, he'll let you know when it is. I know he's dealing with Corinne on our show.
Nice.
And I know that your mom is cool is about to give him a call, also known as Mark Wiseman. I know that my buddy Pete Cruz is dealing with Carlos de la Fuente. Bonnie, Scarlet Fire, when she's not picking her favorite Scarlet Fire, she's referring people to Carlos De La Fuente. So
she usually is picking her favorite Scarlet Fire, though. That occupies most of her time during the day, just analyzing different Scarlet Fire. Because you got to listen to every one of them, Tony. And they range from 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So depending on like which year you dive into, she's got her hands full. That's all I'm saying. Parsing through those Scarlet. Hey, Tony, don't get me going. Next tomorrow, I'll say, what's your favorite Dark Star? Good luck with that. That'll go on for like a few days. So in the meantime, consider Carlos for your next financial maneuver. He is the man, and we love you, Carlos, and we're glad you're feeling better, buddy. Okay.
Yeah. Also, Paulie, lastly, if you want to email Carlos, it's carlos@myflexnow.com. Carlos@myflexnow.com. And Paulie, you didn't ask, but my favorite non-dead Dark Star, but is still Grateful Dead, was Fare Thee Well, when Brian Murphy had to leave the premises because he was frightened of what was about to happen on stage.
I hate to do this. Wait, did you say your favorite Dark Star?
Yeah, one of my favorite Dark Stars.
Good, good. No, good, perfect. I thought you said, I was still thinking Scarlet Fire. No, perfect. Dude, he ran for the hills. He didn't know. Bro, they dropped a freaking What's Become a Baby on us. I was like, whoa, because I wasn't ready for that. I had Phil Lesh talking through like the voice box. It was nuts. Anyway, Murph ran for the hills. He just had to take cover. It was getting way too psychedelic. Speaking of taking cover, I know Paul Tonelli, our special guest today, has probably been hanging out in the green room, and I don't want to make him wait any longer. If you'd like to bring him in, Tony.
Not yet. We have not gotten a visit from Paul Tonelli just yet. He's probably drinking that throat coat tea, which he does to take care of his pipes to come on the show and get everything all lubed up and ready for us. So, Paulie, if we can go back to Game 7 before, and also we got to talk about the Bryce Huff news, which is
we got to go. I know, dude. We'll go to Game 7 in 2 seconds right after I get this last comment out. The floor is yours. But dude, remember yesterday we were talking about you breakdancing, and then I said, hey, we could do variations of that. Like I'll cover Tony with like lamp oil, and I'll just slide him across the floor. Dude, I was scrolling through Twitter this morning before the show. I swear to God, it might have been Gravy. I forget who posted this, but somebody on Twitter wrote a hashtag. Swear to God, it said hashtag let Tony breakdance. Dude, I want that to spread. Let's get that out in the community. Hashtag. And was that you, Gravy? I'm not sure. I think it was let Tony breakdance. I support the movement, man. Big time. Yeah.
I will. I mean, I got no problem with it. But I need to get a good stretch before that happens. I need to get a good stretch before that, because if I don't, then I'm screwed. Because I can't even touch my toes. Can you touch your toes?
Yes, but I stretch like 4 times a day. I'm crazy about it. Like I stretch nonstop. Yeah.
So do I, Paulie. I stretch every day too, but I've never, ever been able to touch my toes.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is my arms are like 10 feet long, so it might be a little easier for me. I could just, you know what I mean? But I can, and it's taken me a long time to get that limber. But dude, go back to Game 7. You were just saying you had another take.
Well, and also, if we ever did get in a fight, you would beat me on the reach, I'm guessing. Because
I can keep you at bay just by chucking jabs. Yeah, just flick the jab. Yeah. We would never do that. Don't worry, you guys. I know you like to watch us fight. Huh?
That's awesome. Chucking jabs. That's funny. No, Paulie, I just want to say that was a series that you didn't really want to see anybody lose, or at least in my opinion, I didn't want to see anybody lose.
Yeah.
You gotta love Seattle, and they were this close, man. They were sniffing it, dude. They were sniffing. They were up 3-1 through 6 innings. They were up 3-1, man. And it's like, oh, they're so close, and never been to the World Series. And gosh, man, just the heart of a George Springer. And I don't know. I watched his swing on that home run like 5 times this morning. He is so locked in and looking.
Seems like a super cool guy too, doesn't he? Like in the post game, you saw him interview. He seems like a really likable guy, George Springer.
Totally. So I'm all for it, man. Like and now Geddy Lee, Canada, Paulie, you sang the national anthem yesterday. I might have to get another rendition today.
Sure, I'll do it every day until the Blue Jays win the World Series. If that's what you need, I got you. Yeah.
And also tip of the cap to Cal Raleigh with 5 home runs in the postseason. But dude, when you've got Vlad Guerrero hitting 6 home runs and hitting like what 460 or something, he was hitting 463 before his last at bat. I know that, dude. The guy's on fire. Ernie Clement on fire. So these are the guys, and then you got Varsho, and you've got Lucas, and you've got blanking on the other guy, but I forget. Sorry, I forget his name right now. But you've got a good offense right now that's hot, that I think could give the Dodgers some trouble.
I do too, buddy. I do too. And never forget the Giants. And again, there's something about this Blue Jays team that reminds me of the World Series years Giants, like in 12 and in 14 when they had to come from behind in all those series. Like there's something about that, the fact that they're going to be heavy underdogs to the Dodgers. I actually think that plays into the favor of the Toronto Blue Jays. First of all, the series starts up there, meaning the Dodgers, that's a long effing flight, Holmes, from LA to Toronto. That's a bitch of a flight. Now they got to bring their passports and they got to walk into the Lions Den. Those fans are off the hook, man. I am so pleased with the atmosphere they conjure up in Toronto. And it's funny, I've heard this multiple times. It's up in Toronto, in Canada, Tony. It's not just Toronto. The entire country is rooting for the Blue Jays. So you got not just, I'm talking, here we go again, Tony, from Winnipeg to Ottawa, okay? From Montreal to, I don't know, Quebec, you know what I'm saying? Like, or is that the same? I'm not sure. Anyway, all of Canada's in on the Jays, which is kind of exciting to have like the support of an entire country. It must be pretty cool.
And don't sleep on the home field advantage playing a role in this series.
That's what I'm saying.
Game 6 and Game 7 in Toronto could be a huge factor, dude, because, I mean, that is just... I don't know. That dome was so loud. Did you see that? I saw somebody with a video with a I don't know what you call it, the noise meter or whatever, however you measure noise inside of a stadium. I don't know the official name of the device, but it was like the levels were like 106, 107. The guy was holding it up to the crowd, to the air inside the dome, and the place was going, and the roar as soon as he makes contact, the roar. And if you watch in slow-mo, the guy who ends up with the ball, if you pause it, he is so stoked. It's so great, man. You're so happy for him, dude. So anyways, Paulie,
a couple of other quick Canada riffs. Sorry, Tony, the floor is yours in 5 seconds, but also Stevie B coming in from Saskatoon to Saskatchewan. Let me throw this one out there, Tony, from Thunder Bay to Moose Jaw. Okay, where'd you grow up? I grew up in Moose Jaw, bro. I'm a Moose Jaw Canada product. I mean, I love the Canadians, man. You ever been up there? I went to Vancouver. No. Oh, dude, it's really cool. Canada's a cool country. Vancouver is a lot like San Francisco, actually. Very similar. Yeah.
Close Encounters for two things. First of all, Aaron Kask is a super. Let's bring it to the show. Aaron Kask says, might be like 2012 World Series where Detroit was heavily favored, had to wait for NLCS to end, and then had to go to SF for Game 1. Let's hope Vlad pulls a Pablo. Nice, dude. Yes, Aaron Kask, that's great. And let us know what Black Sabbath tune you're going to listen to later. Or maybe, just let us know.
And Aaron Kask, let us know if you're coming on 1027. I'd love to hang out with you again, buddy. Oh, here comes Corinne. Tony, go ahead. Take that one, buddy.
Yes, Corinne, also thank you for the super. She says, belated thank you for B-Day wishes for me and Karen back on 1010. I've been absent from the show for almost 2 weeks, having fun. Thanks, Leslie, for letting Tony know. Also, shout out to the Papa, who also shares our 1010 B-Day. Shout out to Papa. So, hey, happy birthday to all y'all. And Corinne, welcome back to the show. And Corinne, I love that you're working with Los D. You're in good hands, as you know. But Paulie, the program must proceed because the green room, I just opened the curtain to the green room and I took a peek. And just taking a break from his huge gabagool Sando is Paul Tonelli. So I'm going to bring him onto the program right now.
Please.
And let's welcome Paul Tonelli to the program as we speak. Let me see what there he is.
Look at this. We got with special guest. Okay, let's get right into it. Tonelli joins us. Some Italian looking dude. I'll second that. He's definitely got the features. Is the dog Italian too, Paul? And what's the dog's name? I can't hear him too. Can you?
Oh no. Paul, you there?
Unmute the mic, bottom left. There should be a mute button. You got to hit that bad boy. Help him, Tony. Yes, his mic is muted even on his label there. Yeah.
So, Paul, there's a little microphone icon that should unmute you.
Damn it.
No, we're not getting
Damn it all. Damn it all to hell. Okay, Tony, help your uncle here. Keep going.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm trying to automatically monitor his microphone, but I can his level is up on our end. His level's up on our end, so we'll have to see if we can get on his end. You can go to the system settings, Paul. If you go to settings of your laptop and make sure that your laptop mic is engaged.
We've
Sorry.
done this before. We
Yeah.
had Tonelli on before. I mean, we know it can be done. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
He's still
Um,
working. Paul's working. All right.
Yeah, he's fine. No, not hearing you. But just keep trying, Paul, and because you did it last time, and we had the great levels, actually. Dare I might say, because
All right, how's that?
Yeah, there we go. That was the magic button, Paul. Welcome. Good to see you.
For some reason, it was not on the integrated microphone selection.
Oh, that's okay. See,
So
you gotta
make sure your guests know that you need to have that on the integrated microphone selection. It was on some inline thing that didn't work. This is Ginger. Ginger's about 10 years old and very camera shy, you can tell.
Well, I'm going to say greatest gingers of all time would be Fred Astaire and Ginger. What was her name? Ginger Rogers. Is that her name? The dancer. And then, of course,
Rogers,
you got Ginger Rogers. You got Ginger from Gilligan's Island, of course.
Absolutely.
And then you got Tennell's dog, Ginger, which is now in the Ginger Hall of Fame. That's our whole segment on Ginger, by the way. That's as far as we can go.
Nice.
She's the reason I'm a little bit late. We have she had to go out, and we're taking her down toward this little town center we have where the train goes by, and she gets freaked out by the train. So I had to carry her home. So it was a little bit slower than usual because she puts on the brakes when she gets close to the train and doesn't move.
I got you, man. I got you.
She loves the camera. She wants to get down. There you go.
Bye, Ginger. Peace out, Ginger. Thanks for joining us. Hey, welcome to the show, Paul. Good to have you back on a Tonelli.
What's up? Thanks for having me. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late.
All good, man.
No sweat, man. No sweat. Go ahead, T.
Well, no, I just want to dive. Did you happen to watch any of the baseball last night? Did you watch?
I did not. No, I was just busy with other stuff.
No worries.
Didn't get a chance to watch it. I watched some of the replays.
But I assume that you're on the Blue Jays bandwagon with Paulie and I. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Yeah. Sure, especially after coming back from 2 games down against Seattle. And what I love is who I don't know who the manager is for Toronto, but I guess he was showing them clips of the Yankees when they came from 2 down in the World Series to win the World Series. And after they were down 2-0 to Seattle, I guess he had the team and he was showing them how they came back, and that kind of inspired their comeback, apparently.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then they were down 3-2. I mean, Seattle had 2 chances to close them out and go to the World Series, but the Jays
had to be up 3-1 last night, late too, right?
Yeah, they were so close. Still, I believe they're the only team now left in Major League Baseball that has not actually gone to a World Series, and they're going to have to keep waiting. And by the way, Tony, yesterday, I've been meaning to say this. You kept saying, like, I'm rooting for Seattle because of, no, Paul, because Tony loves Pearl Jam and he loves all the Seattle, and I do too. But anyway, Tony, I got to remind you, Eddie Vedder, Mr. Seattle boy, guy's a Cubs fan. He's not even American. He's a Cubs guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a Cubs fan.
I said that I'm for the Seattle region. I mentioned Vedder. I mentioned McCready. I mentioned Stone Gossard. I mentioned Ament. I mentioned Mother Love Bone. I mentioned Nirvana, Soundgarden. So it wasn't just Vedder.
You got them all.
Yeah, he hit them all. And Jimi Hendrix, throw him on the pile. He made a couple of good albums too. Yeah. So, but anyway, Paul, we love having you on the show. You're looking great. I'm glad you're nice and relaxed in your post Lamont and Tonelli career. But that doesn't mean we're not coming to you to talk some Niner football. Tony and I were kind of rejuvenated by that win on Sunday night. Great to see the ground game finally get cranking and get going with CMC. The offensive line performed well. What kind of jumped out at you, just big picture wise, from the win on Sunday night?
A couple of things. First of all, Christian McCaffrey just running the way that we think Christian McCaffrey can run. No evidence of any calves or ankles or anything like that. I mean, some of his cuts were unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And the way he was hitting the line, the way he was breaking tackles and running through guys, it looked like he was really 100% back. And that's great to see. No ill effects. I mean, just seeing him, the way he runs with this, low pad level and the cuts that he makes and some of the moves, he gives a hip and then makes cut the other way and just makes guys miss. He was doing it all on Sunday night. I mean, it was Christian McCaffrey of like 5 years ago. And then the defense, when you think about Bosa being out and Warner being out, and Salah, I've been telling people since the game on Sunday that was the most Salah-like defense of the Niners I've seen this season since he's been back. That was the Salah of the Super Bowl years and stuff like that, where they were playing fast, they were playing aggressive, quick reads to the ball, not making mistakes. The pressure on Penix at the end of the game, he didn't know what to do. I mean, that last series, he was not even thinking about scoring. He was like, just get me out of here. That last pass of the game where he just threw it up.
Yeah.
You know, Huff had a great game. I'm sorry to see that he's not going to be playing this coming weekend. But think of the people that Saleh had to work with, and not putting anybody's talent level down, but that's just what he can do as a coach. Is he recognizes talent, and then he motivates talent, and they play at a different speed, and they play with a different intensity. And when you have guys like D. Winters kind of stepping in, even though he's been starting, but taking over like the leadership role that Warner vacated.
Right.
And then Bethune had a game, and Huff had a game. It's too bad Stout was out, because you see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
So these guys, you know, you don't like to use the term no names. I think that's disrespect, but they're not some of the defensive guys we've seen in the Niners in past years. And he's got these guys absolutely balling. I mean, these guys were playing some aggressive D, and it was really inspiring to watch. And then the crowd responded. And I was telling a couple of my buddies after the game, Steve Bluford and John Regalia, who spot for me in the press box.
Nice.
We were walking out after the game, and I said, you know, offense is fun to watch, and offense puts points on the board, and offense is like showtime. But when you want to get the crowd amped up and hitting decibel levels on Tony, it's called a decibel meter.
Thank you.
To go off the charts. Defense is what inspires everybody. Defense is what motivates everybody. Defense is what fires everybody up. And that's what you got Sunday night at Levi's with the Niners.
You know, if I could, one more quick one, T, and then I give it to you, Paul. I heard a lot about, you know, and we saw it on TV, but it's not the same as yourself in the building experiencing the full volume. I want you to tell me, how loud did it really get when they showed Fred Warner on the screen pumping his fist? And then Kittle famously after the game said, hey, we had to go to a silent count because because the crowd was so loud. But is that accurate? Like, how loud did it actually get when they showed Warner?
It was as loud as it got all night. And where it really got loud, it was people were fired up seeing him on camera. And you know, but when he at the end said, let's go, the place just went absolutely bonkers. And I think that's the loudest it was all night.
Nice.
Oh, so cool. You talk about it, just an emotional leader for the Niners. But Paul, I know you have a special love for special teams, and I wanted to just tip the cap and get your thoughts on this kid, Malik Turner, who was called up from the practice squad, I think the day before the game, and then has 3 special teams tackles and looked really good on special teams coverage, on punt coverage too. I'm just wondering, go ahead. Go.
We didn't get word until like the scratches were coming out that he was an add to the roster. In fact, he wasn't even on what we call the flip card and with the rosters and stuff that we get in the press box. So I had to add his name at the bottom of the Niners roster list. And I thought, well, you know, he's kind of a receiver by trade. I did not expect to see him on special teams. And he's just like, hey, I just want to play. Just let me get out there. Let me play. And that was, you could see that in his attitude with the plays he made on special teams. And it wasn't like he was in a lane and the return guy came to his side and he stepped up and made a tackle. He was going after people. Yeah. I mean, he had speed to the ball and he was just getting after it, coming from across the field to make plays. So he's like, hey, put me in the lineup, man. I just want to be here and contribute.
Hey, what are your thoughts on the new, on all the kickoff changes in the last few years, and then the newest one this year? Like, what do you think as a former football coach, and you've been with the Niners for years now? What are your thoughts on all the kickoff stuff?
I like the returns.
Yeah.
It's interesting to watch the kickers because you can see them physically laying off the kick.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of pooching it, Right. And that's kind of weird to see because usually they're just booming that thing. But I kind of like the change because you're getting more returns and more creativity. I think as it moves on, I'd like to see what special teams coaches do with their return schemes and their blocking schemes up front. And it turns into kind of not just a return, but a return play, almost like a running play. So I don't think that's fully developed yet. And I think as they get more creative with what they can do to gain yards, and you're trying to get out to the 35 or beyond the 35 because you would get the 35 anyway if it was into the end zone. But the kickers are doing a great job of making sure it's short of the end zone. And I think it's better than the old kickoff where guys were just booming it and it was another touchback.
Yeah.
And it was another touchback.
Yeah.
So you're still getting returns from right around the goal line, 1-2 yard line. So it's not like it's a short return. But I'm really anxious to kind of see what these teams eventually do with their scheme on the return game.
Paul, I want to talk a little bit about our quarterback situation. So a couple of weeks ago, Tony and I, we were part of a really cool event with the 49ers. We got to watch the Thursday night Rams game with Brent Jones and Bryant Young. It was set up through Kirk. Yeah. Set up through Kirk Reynolds, Eddie D's PR guy. So all the old-time Niner important figures. Yeah, Freddie Formosa was there, who was like Eddie D's guy and all that. A lot of Niner royalty hanging up. But Brent Jones made a comment that night, watching Mac Jones go down to Los Angeles and beat the Rams. Really had a great game that night, Mac Jones did. And Brent said, the problem with these turf toe injuries is there's really no science to it. It can really bother you and linger for the entirety of the season. So first thing is, I guess it's a two-part question. One, do you hear anything about, the return of Brock Purdy? And then two, I just want to get your view of Mac Jones as our quarterback. I'm really pleased by and large with how he's playing, but I'd like to get your take on Mac Jones and what you think is in store for the Niners with Brock Purdy.
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, you just being in the press box doing the PA, you don't get inside information. There's nothing like that. We're just on the periphery of the team. We're part of the production crew. So we get nothing on the condition of any of the 49ers or any injuries or anything like that. So I have no clue as to the severity of Brock Purdy's turf toe or whatever's going on. But I love Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I think he has really been good. I expected him to be good. And he and Purdy are similar in the fact that, and I don't know if this is the way the current coaching staff is coaching the quarterbacks, but the way he stands in the pocket and his pocket sense is very similar to Purdy's, where they're not looking for an escape route right now, but when they do get in trouble, they know where the escape route is. You don't see him getting happy feet or looking to get out before he delivers the ball. I mean, he was surrounded by guys. He's trusting his protection, which is important, because then you have the time to get rid of the ball instead of pulling it down right away as soon as some guy's in your passing lane and then looking for an out, which, I love Jimmy G, but he was, after he got hit a couple of times and coming back from that knee injury, he started looking for that escape route pretty early in his drop.
Yeah.
And you don't see that out of Jones. Obviously, you don't see that out of Purdy. He's got some of the best pocket presence I think I've seen in the entire league. So I think the Niners are fine with Mac Jones going forward. I think that, it's a blessing of riches. And I don't think there's going to be any quarterback controversy or anything like that. I hate even bringing that up because I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
And I think the coach has got to stay with his game plan and stay with, his guys. And the fact that we have a guy that can step in, I think is fantastic. But, Jones can be a starter league wide, and the Niners are blessed to have him. And I think they're fine moving forward with him.
It is a Tonelli Tuesday here with Paul Tonelli. And Paul, George Kittle coming back last week, right? The O-line looked like a completely different O-line than it did the week before in Tampa Bay. But the addition of George Kittle makes that huge of a difference. But by the way, I preface this all by saying, if you ever watch a game with Paul, it's fun, but it takes a while because it's a lot of pause and rewinds. And, oh, did you see that? Oh, look at that. And I'm like, there's stuff that you see that I never see. So I want to ask you, what makes Kittle such a good run blocker or blocker? Like what is there anything specifically, or what his return, why was it such a huge boost and factor to the O-line?
Well, I think more than anything physical, it's personality and attitude, right? Yeah. I mean, to be a good blocker, you have to make up your mind that you're going to be a good blocker. You have to make up your mind that you're not just going to block a guy, pop him, and think that's going to work, especially at the NFL level.
Yeah.
You got to have the attitude to get after it and use your feet and drive a guy out of the play, get him out of there, maintain contact, and make sure your guy does not make the play. I mean, you have that responsibility. It's not, it's not rocket science. You got to block this guy. Don't let him get it. So, and then that's where the technique comes in, right? A lot of guys can make the contact, but their feet are out of position, their body's body position is not good. So, Kittle has the desire and the attitude. That's number one. And you can see it the way he plays the entire game. So, and that's what makes him a leader too, is he's fiery. He's vocal. He gets guys going. He's demonstrative. But more than anything, he leads by example. You can get guys that do that, and they're stuffed shirts because they don't back it with their performance. So he initiates it with his performance and gets guys to stand out because of the way he stands out. But then he encourages guys, and I think he's a total team dude. He's not in it about George Kittle. He's in it about the Niners, and I think that's what guys respond to.
Good call. And hey, T, if you can put up the Aaron Cass super, he's got a question for Tonell. Let's let him see that one. Yeah.
Yeah, here, let me throw it up there. No, sorry, wrong one.
No, go to Aaron. Yeah, Aaron Cask. Yeah.
Hang on one sec. Sorry, Pine. Thanks for the chat, Pine Needle, but this is for Aaron Cask. Aaron Cask is super. Thanks, Aaron. Paul, do you think Hennessy was an improvement over Brendel? Looked like it to me. And if so, could you see him take the job from Brendel on the O-line?
Put it this way. I didn't really notice Hennessy because I'm not looking at the offensive line. I'm kind of following the ball and looking at numbers so I can make the announcement from the press box over the PA. So it's kind of tough to kind of break down O-line and D-line play. I'll tell you this. I didn't notice a downgrade. I didn't notice any extra pressure or any effect on the run game, negative effect on the run game. So Hennessy was obviously doing his job. I just can't speak to, looking at him specifically to see what he was doing well or wasn't doing well. And I don't see Hennessy taking over unless Brendel loses the job. I don't see Shanahan making that move just based on an injury. I think he's the type of coach that's going to let a guy try to come back from injury and prove that he doesn't belong there.
Right. I kind of have a T, if you don't mind. I want to ask Paul kind of an NFC question. I was watching I'm sure all of us were watching the Lions just really beat down the Bucs last night, and I'm glad that happened because I wanted to see how the Lions responded after a really tough loss in Kansas City. I had a feeling Dan Campbell was going to have those guys coming out with a really nasty attitude, and they did. You talked about the Niner defense flying around. I felt that way about the Lions last night. Like every single yard the Buccaneers got was highly contested. I mean, they were gang tackling. Their secondary played great. There was constant pressure on Baker Mayfield. I mean, he got guys in his face all night, and you see the end result. The Lions won pretty big last night. So it's funny when you look at the NFC West, it's so competitive with all these 5-2 teams. Right. And like, where are the Niners in the big picture? And I guess I'm asking, like, who do you see at the top of the NFC right now? Philly is a very strange team. They're winning, but it's not like it was last year. The Lions, when they play like last night, look to me like they are the best team in the NFC. Then there are weeks the Bucs look that way. So how do you look at the NFC right now and where the Niners fit in to the kind of hierarchy through 8 weeks of the season?
Well, I think they're in the top three for sure. Who the other two is debatable. It could be Detroit. I'm still not completely sold on them just because of the absence of Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
And I want to see where they go through the rest of the season. But obviously, the foundation is there as they showed last year. I'm not a believer in Tampa Bay just yet, although I love watching Baker Mayfield get out and play just because of the plays he makes and his attitude. And he's so positive. And he seems to make something out of nothing so many times. Yep. And he does it all just with his desire to compete.
He competes, big time.
He is just I'm a fan of watching him play football, put it that way. I don't know if I'm a fan of Baker Mayfield, but I'm a fan of watching him absolutely ball and get after the game. Right. So he's always got Tampa Bay in a position, even though the Niners lost to Tampa Bay, I'm still not sold on the Bucs. And Seattle, I think, is playing really well. They showed last night in a good running game too. But I think if I had to put the top three right now, I'd be looking at Detroit, the Niners, and the Rams.
Yes.
But it could. I mean, you could flop the top six, right, and put any of those six in the top three. So it's just it's a subjective thing. For me, the Niners and Shanahan's always going to have the offense rolling. But the defense, getting back to the defense, Sal has got them playing. And I think Sunday night was like a watershed moment for them to springboard into the rest of the season defensively. Mm-hmm. But you finally saw that defense that Salah was running and DeMeco Ryans was running. And the trademarks are aggressive, fast, correct reads. I don't know how they coach it, but I don't know if they reduce the responsibilities so they don't have to read as much and it gets them to act faster. But
Nice.
they
Yeah.
see and they go.
Yeah.
They see a step and boom, you can see them fire in a direction and they get to their responsibility. And so maybe he's reduced the things they need to look at, and I don't have any inside information, maybe he's reduced what their responsibilities are in a certain place so they can just see and go and get to their spot, because they were playing so fast on Sunday night. It was really resembling the Salah and D'Amico Ryan's defenses of a couple of years ago.
God, I love hearing this talk, Paul. And just an NFL comment. By the way, everybody, if we think that we have had O-line issues or O-line struggles, feel for CJ Stroud in Houston, because his O-line
he's getting killed out there. Yeah.
I mean, and it must be frustrating the hell out of a defensive-minded guy like D'Amico Ryan's.
Sure.
Because they have a good D. Houston's got a good D.
Yeah.
But their O-line is just so, whenever you think we have it bad, just think of CJ Stroud and the Houston O-line. But Paul, you mentioned team player. You mentioned, George Kittle, team player, and Baker Mayfield, team guy and positive guy and good vibes, good energy. I have to ask, and if you don't want to comment, feel free, but Juwan Jennings has been a factor. I don't know. I'm trying to be polite, basically.
Let it out, T. Don't be polite. Let it fly. I want unfiltered Tony. Yeah.
The guy gets in Shanahan's face last week in Tampa Bay. He held out for whatever you want to call it, not a holdout. It was like a squabble, contract squabble.
Tantrum. It was like a child's tantrum demanding more money. And by the way, the guy has underperformed all year, demanding more money. Yeah.
Right. And the guy's dropping ball. I just want to get your overall just take on Juwan Jennings and what you think his involvement should be with the 49ers moving forward.
Well, I think you need to keep him involved just because of his talent in his hands. I think he makes some incredible catches. What's going through his mind and what his attitude is, I have no idea. I can just watch him play. I do think that maybe there's been a change in his attitude from when he was trying to prove himself to getting to the point of a couple of seasons ago and being a big part of the offense, and then to where you say he looks to be right now, right? So maybe that's been the transition. I don't know that I've seen a difference in his performance. I think that's more physical related. That's just my guess, speculation. I don't have any inside information on that. But I still think he's a key cog in opening up that pass game a little bit, especially going vertical and stretching the field a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, if you have any kind of answer for this is like one of those questions. It's kind of a cerebral philosophical thing. But when you look at the Niner injuries, man, it's a freaking mash unit, dude. I mean, and there are a lot of Pro Bowl talent out there. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, you got Pearsall, Kittle, Purdy, Bryce Huff. I mean, the list, it's crazy. And I think about the game today and the way the game is played, the way the game is officiated. Players have never been more protected than they are in this era right now. Meanwhile, you go back to like Montana's era, Steve Young's era, the game was twice as violent, but it seemed like those guys somehow stayed on the field for 16 games. Like, what do you chalk this up to? Is it just bad luck? Is it the way the game is played, or is it how they practice now? Like, I'm trying to make sense of why this keeps happening to the San Francisco 49ers year in, year out. They lose key guys all the time. It's the second time, essentially, Bosa will have missed the entire season in his career. So I don't know. When you watch the game, you've seen a lot of football. What how do you answer that? Or how do you speculate on that?
Well, I think the speed of the game, more than the physicality of it, could be affecting some of these injuries and the stress that the speed puts on the body, because players are certainly a lot faster than the era you were talking about. I think that the game is much faster across the field. So maybe some of that speed and that torque has a negative effect on the body more than the hits and the physicality that we're talking about. So that's my first thought. My second thought, and this is not a slam on the Niners organization, just in general, when I think about the injuries, and it's not just football. It could be, and we'll talk local teams here. It could be if the Warriors had a season of like injuries and you're like, where are these injuries coming from? You just can't figure it out. And then I wonder about their off the field training and weekly training and stretching and what that training staff is doing. And if that training staff, for some reason is affecting, not causing, but affecting them, that they're more injury prone, put it that way. And again, it's just me speculating, trying to come up with a reason why this is happening. Because I don't, like you were saying, the game was a lot more brutal. I don't think it's a lack of attitude on the players. I don't think it's the players saying, "Oh, I can't go because of a hangnail or something." I don't think it's anything like that. And, you're saying how tough the guys in the '80s were. I think guys are just as tough, if not tougher now, right? Because the game is tougher now. So that's a long way of saying I have no clue.
Yeah, no, it's red. All I know is here's what we do have certainty on. It's just frustrating as hell to have this happen, or just losing Bryce Huff now, right? He had a really nice, he's had 2 good games in a row. He played well in Tampa. He played really well Sunday, and boom, now we lose him. It's like, when is it going to end, man? So it's a frustrating thing to watch game in, game out, season in, season out. And it seems like it's happening, more in this era ever before. Go ahead, T. I see you. Yeah.
Well, I want to talk a little music with Paul because Paul, obviously the 35-year host of Lamont and Tonelli, and last Friday we lost Ace Frehley, sadly, and I wanted to know, Paul, if did you and Lamont on the show, did you guys ever have any run-ins with Kiss, or any did they ever come through the studio, or do you have any, were you part of the Kiss Army growing up? Did you ever see them live? Are they any connection to Kiss at all?
Well, when I was growing up, I was not a part of the Kiss Army, and I wasn't a big Kiss fan just because of all the makeup. I just liked raw rock and roll, and I didn't like the stage presence. I just didn't. The Kiss Army fans are going to kill me. I get that. What's that, Paulie?
I got Ace Frehley right there. Don't disrespect.
I know. I see him. I see him.
Yeah.
I could not buy into Kiss. I just, from an attitude standpoint, it had nothing to do with their music. It had everything to do with the presentation. We had Gene Simmons on the show a number of times, and he is just a character. He was a lot of fun, and you could tell that his the whole marketing thing, while effective, is a big part of his shtick, right? Yeah. And that's what I always appreciated about Gene Simmons, and he was always very good to us when he came into the studio or when we did some over the phone interviews.
Yeah.
And he always had a mother joke in there somewhere or something like that, and would always slam us. That was his trademark. Oh yeah, I was with your mother last night, or whatever he would say. So Gene Simmons was a classic. And then my favorite Ace Frehley note is the one that with regards to Pearl Jam and the jam on Alive, and how he was saying that it was Ace Frehley on, I think the song was She.
Correct.
Yep. The riff on She was what inspired McCready for the guitar on Alive. That's the one thing that Ace Frehley always makes me think about is his tie to Pearl Jam.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. And Paul, I want to let Tony know about this. So Paul Tonelli, not part of the Kiss Army, but I will tell you this: he's a he's a card-carrying member of the Allman Brothers Army. And
I love the Allman Brothers. Yes,
well, me too, dude. And on that note, check this out, Tony. I'm hanging out over the weekend. I think it was Saturday. I forget which day this was. Anyway, Tonell sends me a text. He goes, "Paulie, check this out." Dude, he sent me an acoustic version of "In Memory of Elizabeth Reed." Blew my doors off. Thanks for that, Paul. That was killer.
It's incredible. It's an incredible piece of music.
Yeah,
and it's Dickie Betts and Warren Haynes just going at it.
Yeah, throwing it back and forth. Have you ever heard that, Tony?
He sent it to me as well. So I was
good.
That's so funny you brought that up, Paulie, because I was literally going to bring it up if you didn't. So that's great. That's good.
So the first time I heard that, I heard it over the weekend. I was in Santa Cruz and I heard it on K-Pig. Nice. And it reminded me of the first time I ever heard that was when Rosalie was doing the acoustic Sunday mornings.
Nice.
Acoustic Sunrise, I think is what it was.
Yeah,
on K-Pog.
Great show, dude. Great show.
Oh, it's a fantastic show. Yeah, Rosalie, you talk about somebody who knows her music.
She was an old school, and she was the genuine article. She was a real San Francisco hippie, Haight-Ashbury, saw the Grateful Dead in Golden Gate Park. She was the real deal, Rosalie. She was awesome.
And I was listening to her on a Sunday morning, and she played that. And I saw her the following Monday at the radio station. I'm like, Rosalie, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
And I'd kind of forgotten about it over the years. Now I heard it on K-Pig on Saturday. I was in Santa Cruz, and I said, "Oh, I got to get this out to the boys because I knew you guys would appreciate it."
Yeah, no, it was badass. Go ahead, Tony. Yeah.
Well, Paul, we both are fans of the Guild Theater in Menlo Park here on the peninsula. And Paul, I don't know if you saw the schedule coming up at the Guild, but Smokey Robinson is coming to the Guild Theater.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I forget the date.
I was
But he's on the advanced schedule.
Yes, and I was like, oh, I don't care whatever, however hard of a ticket or whatever it costs. To see Smokey in an intimate setting like what do you think the capacity is for the Guild? 500?
500, 400 to 500. It depends on if they let you stand down on the floor. It's probably closer to 500. But if they put some chairs down there, it's probably closer to 400.
Oh, and how old do you think Smokey is now?
Oh, got to be close to 80 at least, right? I mean, he's got to be
83.
Yeah, I saw Smokey.
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I'll tell you this, you guys. I saw Smokey Robinson live one time, and it was like 15 years ago. And he sang, I mean, one of his most famous songs. It's a song we all have heard a million times. Tracks of My Tears. Saw him play that live, dude. It dropped me to my. It was incredible. Like he still has it. He's
85.
85.
God, well, gig till you die. That's the code, man. You got to keep gigging until you die. Yeah. So
many hits, and everybody has a different Smokey tune. If you say Smokey Robinson, there's always, and it's different with everybody, right? Totally subjective. One tune will pop into your head, just the title or whatever. But for me, it's Groovin'.
Oh yeah, great one, dude. Great one. Yeah.
That's the one that immediately comes to mind. I mean, just the riff on that is just so mellow and it's just a cool tune.
Way cool.
By the way, December 18th at the Guild.
Ooh, a little Christmas show. I like that. Yeah.
And then I think early next year on that same calendar, Tony, was Marshall Tucker.
Oh, that's right. Yes. And
nice.
Paul was giving me some great.
And obviously, all the personnel has changed, but oh God, now I'm drawing a blank. Of course I am. The lead singer is still. What's that?
Pablo Cruz.
No, with Marshall Tucker, the lead singer, and I know his name is just it's escaping me right now. He's kind of running the band now. So even though a lot of the personnel has changed, and he's, I think, maybe the only original guy still with the band, and he's operating. It's just like the old Marshall Tucker band, but they still sound fantastic. And as long as they have his vocals, Doug Gray,
nice.
As long as they have his vocals, it's going to sound like Marshall Tucker. Although you don't have the Caldwell brothers, Toy and Tommy.
Nice.
Little trivia about them: they never used a pick. They were both thumb pickers on the bass and on the lead guitar.
Wow.
So when you hear those guys playing the bass and the guitar and how good and exact they are, they're doing it with their thumb and not a pick.
Yeah, man. But you know what? Shout out to the Marshall Tucker, because I always think about Madison Bumgarner. I mean, how crazy was it? That guy that was his warm-up music, man. Fire on the Mountain by Marshall Tucker. And you go to a sporting event now, it's all hip-hop. Every player's walk-up is like some hip-hop track. And here comes Bumgarner, dude, rocking Marshall Tucker. That'll never happen again. That was a one and done.
There's an old Marshall Tucker live album called Where We Belong. It's got a gray cover. Yeah. And they do a live version with Charlie Daniels.
Ooh, nice.
Say Jack Daniels. You show where my liver is. It's a live version of 24 Hours at a Time, and it's about 14 minutes long. Nice. And it is such a musical jam that you have to listen to it several times just to try to isolate on one thing each time you listen to it, because everything's playing at the same time. It's the fiddle, it's the bass, it's the guitar, it's the horns, it's the drums, and it is a spectacular listen, the live version of 24 Hours at a Time.
Hey, Tony, I got to say that your uncle Paul Tonelli seems to listen to music the way he watches football, because you said, like, Tonell watches the game, he stops, he rewinds, he's like, oh, look at that guy. And then he's like listening to the live Marshall Tucker record. He's like, oh, wait a second, stop, we got to go back. Did you hear that jam right there? He's like, very, very similar. Yeah.
Don't get Paul started on Derek and the Dominoes, because he has sent me some amazing live Derek and the Dominoes stuff.
All day. Why does love have to be so bad? That's it right there. The live version. It's insane.
The live version, but the live version on in concert.
Yes.
Not the live version on live at the Fillmore, the extended version or whatever. It's got to be the green cover in concert.
Yep.
And the four guys that now I'm getting goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah, no,
probably Eric Clapton's finest guitar solos are in
Agreed.
Why Does Love Got to Be So Sad on the In Concert album.
Yes,
that's one of the songs.
Yeah.
It's one of the songs where if I don't know, in a funk or something, I'm driving around and I'll pop it on and just crank it to like 12.
Nice.
And here's this 60-something old guy driving his car, blasting his eardrums to Why Does Love Got to Be So Sad, like he's 18 years old, right?
Well, then Paul pulls up to a red light, looks over, and I'm in the car next to him blasting Kiss on 12. And I'm in my late 50s, so I hear you, bro. I do. Yes.
Paulie, on that note, I'll never forget, Paul picked me up one day from work. And Paul, this is when you still had the convertible VW. I forget what time. And he picked me up. He had the top down, and he's blasting Derek and the Dominoes.
Yeah.
And I said to Paul, we go for a few blocks. I'm like, what a sight we must be. Dudes in a convertible, top down, cranking Derek and the Dominoes, man.
It was the convertible VW Cabrio that I had, which is like the convertible Golf kind of the thing that everybody gave me a hard time.
Oh,
like, what are you doing driving your wife's car?
Awesome, man. All right.
Oh, I have one last question for Paul. One last question.
Okay.
Paul, we've talked about on this show, I've gotten in a lot of trouble with Brian Murphy in the past about making bets on teams that you shouldn't bet for, or just because like the emotional ties or the hated rival. So I have a question for you, because I'm thinking of doing this, and we did this together, and it got Murph so freaking pissed off that I'm thinking about doing it again. And I'm thinking about texting him as soon as I place the bet.
It'd be good for the show. You should do that. We'll give us good content. Yeah,
sure. Paul and I bet on the Dodgers years ago, and the whole mindset was, just to reintroduce the idea, was you bet on them, and if they lose, you're stoked, and it's like a little payment for the Dodgers losing the series.
Mm-hmm.
But if they happen to win the series, at least you're making money on a Dodgers win. So, Paul, last question before we let you go: are you going to bet on the Dodgers in the World Series for that reasoning alone?
Good question.
That is a good question. My honest answer was I was actually thinking about betting on Toronto, not because I hate the Dodgers, which I do.
Nice.
But I just think they're a good underdog play. Yeah. But I haven't made up my mind yet. You might actually talk me into betting on the Dodgers after reminding me of that.
Yeah, totally. And then we'll get Murph involved and just get them all red-faced.
And get them all. And whenever I think of the Dodgers, I think of the end of Candlestick Park. And I think it was the final weekend of the Stick. They played a series against the Dodgers, not by accident.
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Tommy Lasorda addressed the crowd. He always hated, by the way, that walk from the visitor dugout.
Oh. The best
to the locker room entrance in right field at Candlestick. I mean, you can tell he's not even just playing like Tommy Lasorda playing it up. He hated that walk because he got heckled the entire time. So he comes out to Candlestick for that final series, and he's addressing the crowd. They had the Tommy with the microphone out by the pitcher's mound, and he is getting booed. And his line was, and I think he's used it a few times, it wasn't just that night. He goes, "You're not booing because you hate me. You're booing yourselves because you hate yourselves so much for loving me."
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, I wish we.
And then the crowd went nuts. And the crowd, yay! Yeah. So one great story about Tommy Lasorda and the Dodgers at Candlestick, and heard this story from Will Clark. I was doing an event with Will Clark a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And they're playing the Dodgers at Candlestick, and Will's.
I like where this is going. Yeah.
Will's playing first base, obviously, right? And the Dodgers, the Dodgers are up, and this it was, I don't know if it was one of the bat boys or dugout attendants. This kid runs off the field, and he runs down the right field line, and he goes in the locker room door, right?
Right.
I know.
And Will's like, oh, it must be an emergency or something. A couple of minutes later, same kid comes out of the right field, waits for a little break in the action, comes streaking down, and he's carrying a white bucket.
Oh, dude. Oh. Go ahead. I think yeah, go ahead.
And brings it into the dugout. Yeah. And then, I don't know, something happens in the game and blah, blah, blah. And nothing's happening. Dodgers are still up. And somebody gets on first base. I forget. Will memory is so incredible. He had all the details. I'm not doing the story justice. So so the guy gets on first base and the game's going, and the kid again has the same white bucket, and he's sprinting from the dugout down to the locker room.
Dude, yeah.
And then a couple of minutes later, same kid comes out of the locker room, and the guy's still on first base, and he sprints into the dugout. Will's like, "Hold on, wait a minute." He goes, "What's with the dude with the white bucket?" The guy says, "Oh, Thomas sort of had to take a crap, and he couldn't get to the locker room."
Oh my God, bro. I mean, dude. Oh wow. I have heard that. As soon as you mentioned the bucket, I remembered. I'm like, oh no. And dude, imagine
The kid went to get the bucket, brought it back to the locker room. Lasorda did his business, and then the kid ran it back in the locker room.
Dude,
the visual candlestick story.
I mean, did Lasorda sit on it? Did he hover over it? Either way, the image is just extremely unpleasant. But I've heard that story too. It's a true story. Hey, Tonelli, man, love having you on the show. Thanks for the time today. It's always great.
I hope I didn't take too much time there.
No, dude. If anything, we could have keep going, but I want to let you go enjoy your day. But we'll definitely do it again, Paul. And I told Tony we're due for a lunch, so we'll give you some dates very soon. We'll make it happen.
I appreciate you guys having me on board. Always fun to talk about this stuff.
Heck
Cheers,
yeah, Paul.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks so much for coming on, Paul. Tonelli Tuesdays. Thanks a lot, Paul. We'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Right.
Man.
See ya.
But there he is, the great Paul Tonelli. I mean, Tony, the guy, you know what? He can't help himself. He just serves up what once was great radio. Now I'll just call it great entertainment, just great takes. And when he wants to get serious, obviously he sees things like a coach. He can talk football till the cows come home, and always a pleasure, Tony.
Honestly, God, I swear to God, we should watch. Let's set up a hang with him. You know what we need to do, Paulie? We need to watch a game, a 105 Niner road game. We got to find that on the schedule. Watch it in the city with Paul, and then walk over to the saloon in North Beach and watch some great local blues at the saloon in North Beach. 4:00 every Sunday. Paul and I went and enjoyed some. I was like before one of our Niner dinners with Bob Sargent and all those guys. Paul and I went to the saloon, and
is that the one, Tony? Get a laugh track ready. Is that the one where we talked about Jim Brown? If you know what I'm saying, I can't. I listen. You know me, dude. I'm a punk. I love to push it, but if I tell that story on the air, I could get sued. So I'm not gonna. They could sue me. But
Paul, I'll help you and say the cover of Sports Illustrated and Jim Brown played a prominent role in our dinner.
I hate this. I got to correct you, bro. It was even worse than that. If it was Sports Illustrated, it would have been great. It was Playgirl, dude.
Oh, that's right.
Playgirl. Okay. Right. Sorry, we're having a private moment right now, but it's worth it. Tony and I, dude. And this is the guy who is telling us to be careful that we don't say the wrong thing and get sued. Meanwhile, it's chucking Playgirl and Jim Brown naked at a dinner, at a business dinner. Anyway, just another day in the life. Paul Tonelli, thank you so much. Tony, I want to say that I would like to give Dr. Matt Young some love as we are on the back end of the show here. Hope you guys enjoyed Tonell. Always a pleasure talking to Tonell. Yeah, dude, Jim Brown, bro. We'll just leave it at that. Jim freaking Brown. And by the way, one saloon moment I had. This is years ago in the 90s. I was wandering around. I think I was with my boy Rick Ganji. We were like walking through North Beach one afternoon, and also true story, walking, because you know how it's kind of up a slight incline, like you're walking uphill a little bit, and the saloon's on your right. Yep. I think we're like going to Cafe Trieste or something like that, another killer spot. And dude, who comes staggering out of saloon? I'm telling you, he was lit. Was Paul Kantner from Jefferson Airplane comes staggering out of saloon by himself, housed, and he just hawked a big loogie spit right on the sidewalk. I'm like, damn, that's Paul Kantner. He's spitting on the ground, but he was a San Francisco rock icon, so he had that kind of liberties. I guess those kinds of freedoms. He earned them, Tony. But yeah, that's where Kantner used to hang, the saloon.
Totally, dude. And Corinne is just asking on the chat: is Playgirl still in publication? I'm not. I don't know. I want to know.
Have a subscription. I'm kidding, dude. I don't know. I don't know if I do. I don't know. Probably not, because I think all that stuff got shut down with the advent of the internet. People don't need to buy magazines anymore. Tony, I'll tell you this much.
I have an update. Final issue of Playgirl was in stores winter of 2016. The final issue of Playgirl was winter of 2016.
You asked, and Tony and Stevie B, I posed last week. You see what I'm saying, bro? All right, Stevie B, don't forget what I told you. We got to talk some ideas. We got ideas for you, bro, and we want to see you 1027. In the meantime, you know who else I want to see 1027? Tony, Dr. Matt Young.
Yes.
I extended a personal invitation to him yesterday after the show because I really, Dr. Young has not been able to attend any of our events yet, because he's got a real job. He's running a practice over there at the Young Dental Group, by the way, located on 490 Post Street, Union Square, San Francisco. But anyway, hopefully Dr. Young will join us on Monday for the Tom Tolbert joint broadcast and then Warrior Watch Party. And by the way, Neil Donardi going to be serving up food the entire time. I cannot wait. It's like Mike Damone said in Fast Times. I come here for the strudel. It's great. Like I come here for the Polymac particle pizza. It's great. Same kind of idea. But anyway, Dr. Matt Young, great guy. Hopefully you'll have a chance to meet him and hang out with him on Monday. I think he's going to be able to stop by for a little bit. In any case, Tony's been a new patient. He's thrilled with the results, as he should be. Tony, he really did make your smile look much better. He did the same thing for me, scraped all the gunk off our teeth, gave us some, look at that, nice and white. I'm actually due to get in there and get them polished up again myself. But anyway, he runs the gamut, man. Comprehensive dental care for the young and old, cleanings, fillings, implants, veneers, orthodontics, emergency care. I like to always compliment the team he has at the Young Dental Group, too, because it starts the second you walk in. They make you feel right at home, have a seat, relax. Here comes Dr. Young. But all of the people, the entire staff, they'll work with you. They know you're busy with your schedule. They will accommodate whatever kind of availability you have. They'll make that work. Tony, last couple of things I can say about Dr. Young is if you're thinking about an implant procedure, if you just want to get like some new teeth put in, that's one of his specialties. He is the president of the American Academy of Implant Dentistry. So, in fact, I had to have something like that done once. I had to have a teeth pulled, and he put a new one in. Yeah. So, and then when it comes to insurance, he'll accept pretty much all the major insurance companies. Should never have any problems there. And then, Tony, I'll just let you kind of wrap and speak to your recent experiences with Dr. Young, because he really improved your whole thing, your whole smile, bro.
It's no secret that the partners we have on this show it's all about vibe. Right. And Dr. Young and his staff create the vibe inside the same way Neil creates the vibe tribe at Longbridge, the same way Don Peralta creates the vibe with all of his clients at Stellar and Peralta Art and Company, the same way Los D presents a vibe when he talks to everybody in a personal and friendly manner about fostering relationships. That's Dr. Young, too. And you mentioned, Paulie, that we haven't seen him yet in an event because look at the hours. Look at the hours. If Dr. Young wanted to work on Monday, he would
right. And then when he's not doing this, dude, he's running these like youth baseball leagues. Like he's a lot like Tony that way. Like he's like the Energizer Bunny. He's fixing teeth during the daytime, takes off his dental outfit and then puts on his coaching stuff, and then he goes and coaches youth baseball. So that actually speaks to how much he is a part of the community. He loves San Francisco. He cares about the Bay Area. Tony, but you can finish your thought. My bad. Go ahead.
No. I love it, Paulie. And it's about making the dentist an enjoyable experience. It's something that I actually look forward to. I'm going in December, and I actually look forward to it because it's a hang, it's a vibe, it's a relaxation experience. It's everything that you don't expect a dentist to be, honestly. Because most people, when I talk about, they loathe going to the dentist. They don't look forward to it. Something they're not looking forward to. That's the opposite with Dr. Young and the Young Dental Group. So really get in touch with them. info@youngdentalsf.com, info@youngdentalsf.com, or call them 415-392-8611, 415-392-8611. And again, I just got to stress the hours, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. weekdays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturdays. That's just baller. Dr. Matt Young is a baller, straight up baller. So.
And by the way, if I may say so myself, he's a very handsome gentleman too. Like you throw his picture up sometime, I look at him, I'm like, damn, he's good looking. So anyway, you're in great hands with Dr. Young. Thank you so much, Matt Young. We'll see you hopefully on 1027 with the rest of y'all. Tony, we're going to wrap in a second, but I want to ask you before we go, we didn't get a chance to mention this yet. It's a busy sports day with the World Series happening. Now we got we got Niner football, of course, and we got opening night for the Golden State Warriors down in Los Angeles. Anytime we can inflict some pain on the LA County, I'm on. Sign me up for that. I like going down to visit, but I always am also happy to get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? When I go to LA. And I will be going to LA next year. I got tickets to see Rush at the Forum, so I'll be psyched for that. But then, like, the next day, go have one of those big LA breakfasts, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's time for me to go. I can get back to San Francisco. But
by the way, Paulie, on that note, sorry, just a quick thought before it leaves my head. How great would it be if you, when we all see Rush, maybe the Blue Jays win the World Series and they give Geddy Lee like an honorary ring and he wears it on tour?
That's not the craziest thing I've ever heard. He's heavily involved in the organization. Like, when you watch a game from Toronto, just know this: he's right out of the camera's eye line. Sometimes they show him, but he sits about 4 rows back behind home plate. Like, he's there every freaking game. He wears his hat. He's got the hair in a ponytail. I can easily see him wearing the ring. And I hope he does. I hope he does, because I expect those Blue Jays to get a ring. But real quick, dude, Warriors, you got a vibe? You got a feeling? Butler, the full season now. We got Jimmy Buckets. We got a healthy Draymond. We got a healthy Steph with the whole Kuminga saga. But I'm excited. Quentin Post, give me some QP out there. I'll be watching tonight, T. How you feeling about the return of Dubs basketball?
Well, first of all, we're not going to be seeing this guy tonight, which is unfortunate. We won't be seeing this guy tonight.
Dude, what a clown. Dude, what a freaking clown. That picture is going to haunt him forever. That thing ain't going away. Yeah,
not completely, dude. Paulie, I'm excited about the season. Vegas has it, I think, at 47.5 is the over-under for wins. So I think health is going to be a major issue. But I think if they stay healthy, because you got Horford, which is a totally different center position or being played differently than, say, why am I blanking on his name? Kevon Looney, right? But
by the way, he's injured. I just wanted to throw this out there, T. Speaking of Kevon Looney, he hurt his knee. I think he's going to miss at least 2 weeks right out of the game. I know. I feel bad. We all love Kevon Looney, but so far, not so good in New Orleans. He will miss at least 2 weeks down with the Pelicans. Yeah.
Looney, while you're resting,
Pelican, play. Come on, Pelican.
Please rest up, Looney, and get better for the long haul that is the season. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for Kevon Looney. I know you are too, Paulie.
Totally.
But just the age is the factor. You know, LeBron, Draymond 35, Steph 37, give me 38. Jimmy with Butler 36. Horford's 39. So
correct. It's an old team. It might be the oldest team in the entire league, really. Yeah.
But I am thrilled. You know how I love that term thrilled. I know how you love the term thrilled.
What can I say? I'm thrilled. Yeah, John Bender. Totally. Yeah.
God darn it. You know what? I got to get that on the soundboard. I apologize for not having you already.
John Bender, when the principal goes, I got you for the next 2 months, but he flipped the horns at him and he goes, what can I say? I'm thrilled. Dude, John Bender. I ride with Bender, dude. I ride with Johnny Bender. Yeah.
By the way, Pine Needle, great line. Pine Needle says LeBron is load managing before the season starts.
Totally. I don't want to have any mishaps. I better load manage the first few weeks. Yeah. What a clown show he is, man. Yeah.
But I'm excited to see how Horford blends with these guys. And I'm excited. You know, Horford's got to be stoked that he's like, oh my God, I get a chance to play with Curry and Butler and Draymond.
I like Al Horford was like my favorite guy on the Boston Celtics. I really like Al Horford. The only thing I'm worried about is his age, dude. Old man Horford. But we've seen this before. I mean, David West was pretty old when he was a Golden State Warrior, and he performed very well. Got himself a ring with Golden State. So, hopefully he can be that kind of guy, like smart player, accomplished. He's been through all the wars. He has a ring of his own. And I hope and expect big things from Al Horford, just in a more limited role. Yeah.
Give me the flopping curls of a Podziemski, just flopping up and down the court, you know.
Podziemski, I think, is everything that Kuminga isn't, in terms of, like, Podziemski's about selling out, playing as hard as he can, keeping his mouth shut. Santa Clara product too, man, makes me happy. And meanwhile, Kuminga's like, he's more along the lines of a Juwan Jennings. I want my bag. Where's my money? I'm a star. But again, Kuminga really hasn't done that much yet to demand the money. So, but yes, I think Podziemski kind of represents like the next era of Golden State Warrior basketball. I think Kerr really likes Podziemski too. I think he's very fond of him as a player.
Yes, I agree. And Buddy Ball, the return of Buddy Ball. You ready for some more Buddy Ball?
Buddy Ball, dude, that Buddy had some big moments last year. Buddy gets hot. You got to give him, feed him the rock, man. So, yeah, I'm psyched for Buddy Hield. I'm glad we have him. Yes.
And then Moody, I know that Moody's out right now. I don't know when he's coming back. I haven't looked up Moody's. It's his calf that he's out for Tuesday's game. But you know how much we talked about it last year. I like Moody, and I'd like to get him more minutes this year. Come on, Kirk, give me some more Moody minutes. But dude, Paulie, I'm actually very excited. Like you said, I think you said this yesterday. This is a very exciting time of the year. Imagine if the Giants were in the, were just had a playoff run or were in the Fall Classic. We'd be ecstatic, So, and by the way, on that note,
but yeah, go ahead. I know. It ain't exactly encouraging, but go ahead, throw it out there. Yeah.
Buster Posey offered the job to Tony Vitello, and Tony Vitello says,
let me think about it. Yeah, give me some time. Let me mull that over. Yeah, so Buster apparently has made the offer to Tony Vitello, and Vitello's like, I don't know. I'm pretty happy down here with Tennessee. I got good things going on. So kind of, we're in a holding pattern here. How about Vitello going, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know about that whole thing you guys are doing up there. Buster, come on, kid. This is a big moment for Buster Posey. It really is. He has to land. This thing has to land right, or people are going to start questioning Buster Posey for real.
But do you want a guy that's going to take a gig that he didn't really want?
No. I want a guy that says this is my dream gig. Maybe time to go call Nick Hundley again. Sorry about that. We're playing Hundley like the wolf. Well, would you still take our call? You know what I mean?
Totally.
We'll see how it plays out, but it is so far. I understand that Buster has made the offer and Vitello has not accepted it yet. So
how about
we'll see.
The Padres? You see this about Pujols and the Padres are talking? That'll be interesting too.
Pujols and the Padres, and then Kurt Suzuki just signed on to become the new skipper with the Angels. We can talk to Tolbert about that on Friday, actually, because he's an Angels fan, and I like Suzuki. I always liked him as a player. I remember when he started with the Oakland A's. Remember the Oakland A's? Anybody? So, I like Kurt Suzuki. A lot of manager news, and the Giants are still trying to figure out who their skipper is going to be. We'll keep you posted. On that note, we will see everybody tomorrow night. The night flight remains in place. Tony and I already talked pre-show. Tomorrow, we're going to serve up some of everybody's favorites. Return to the Tony's top 3. The return of the bookmarks. You know what I miss, Tony? Swear to God, you know what I miss? I miss that image of Bookman from Seinfeld, just like pointing. Okay, Joy Boy, that whole open that you made with the dance track. Like, I need that. I need the bookmarks dance party.
Well, let's do it. Let's just do it. Why not just play it for a second here, Paulie? Just a little tease. Let's pre-tease. Let's tease tomorrow night. Stand by.
Give me it.
Time.
Sure, go ahead. Laugh if you want to.
For bookmarks.
Maybe that's how you get your kicks. You and your good time buddy.
PMP style.
I got a flash for you, Joy Boy. Party time is over.
I got a flash for you, Joy.
There it is. That's what I need. I've been. Oh. It's a great jam.
We'll let it build. We'll let it build once, and then we can call it, and then we'll wrap the show.
Okay.
It is good. And look at Joy Boy. That's the work of Don Peralta, by the way. It's another, little gem.
All right, man. Hey, we'll see everybody tomorrow night. Lily Merchant, Law of Oz. By the way, Law of Oz, saw you earlier in the show talking about listening to Ace Frehley all weekend. Good. I did the same thing. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm still playing Kiss records. I'll probably do more today. Christian Narag, what's up, Rags? Love you so much. On and on it goes. Miguel and Dami Peralta and Miriam, all of you guys, Stevie B. So great to see everybody. We will return for the night flight tomorrow. Tony, final thoughts. Go ahead, bud.
Final thoughts is I got to do this because these supers happened a long time ago. This is from 1237. We don't need no stinking badges, a.k.a. Greg. By the way, I just saw Greg just got tickets to the party on Monday with Tom Tolbert, our broadcast. Again, you can go to YouTube at Polymax Particles, just below the bios, the links page. Click on the link to buy tickets, and we'll hopefully see y'all at Longbridge Pizza for the broadcast and all-you-can-eat pizza buffet and Warriors Grizzlies. But Paulie, he was also a super that says earlier in the show, he says, I would pay to see Tony and Paulie spar.
Hey, let me tell you the truth. At the end of the day, badges, you'll never see that because I love Tony too much. I would never raise a hand. And say, but I'll tell you what, if you want to pay some money for like a pay-per-view event, Tony and I maybe we'll both oil up. You know what I mean? We'll do like a hashtag let Tony breakdance, and I'll oil up. He can teach me some moves. I'll get the centipede going. Tony, I'll spin Tony around like a top. Also want to shout out, and thank you, Badges. Love you, buddy. Want to shout out Nikki DiFrancesco, one of my favorite mugs in the PMP community. He was saying that today is Brent Midland's birthday. So yes, happy birthday, Brent Midland, my favorite era of Grateful Dead music, the Brent Midland years. And thank you, Nikki D, for reminding me. I'm glad to mention that. Scarlet Fire, I know you're going to celebrate too.
Thank you, Nikki D. And by the way, Paulie, I'm just over at Instagram Live real quick. I just want to shout out to Nikki D, who's on Instagram Live right now.
Yeah.
Hot Plate 33, also known as RC Davis, one of our favorites. The Stone Foxes, Shannon Kaler, Pinaki's over there.
Nice.
How about this name? Sparrow Foxtrot is joining the show.
That sounds familiar. I know. I've heard that name. I forget who that is, but I know that handle. I've seen that handle before. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a bunch of names. Kinetic Code Athletics is there. Scott Bachman, SF. Loke Leasy or Loke Cleasy is joining the show. So thank you very much for checking us out on Instagram Live. And we're also on Cron 4 and the Cron 4 Plus app. You can go if you have Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, or Apple TV. Download the Cron 4 Plus app and you can watch our show on demand or every night at 11:30 p.m. And Paulie, lastly, Phil Dawson. We love Phil Dawson on the show. He said Kaminga and Jennings by the Bay. He's asking you if
Jimmy and Joey by the Bay. That was one of my favorite pieces we ever created. I remember writing that at my kitchen table during the pandemic. It just was one of the, usually Tony, like the best ideas come to you like that. At least in my case, like in a flash. I was like, "Ooh, what if we made a sitcom with like Garoppolo and Joey Bart?" And I sketched it out, and that was a lot of fun. We could start bringing stuff like that back, actually. Maybe doing some pre-recorded bits. That was a fun one, and thank you for remembering because I like that one too. That was fun.
Great call, Phil Dawson. Paulie, that's like I Need Dubs came to me like in that.
Perhaps that might have been one of your finest moments of all time. And I could, after working with Tony for so many years, like when he would come to me with an idea, he'd be like, "Dude, how about LL Cool J? I Need Love, but we do I Need." As soon as you said it, I go, "Oh my God, home run." I'll lay down my jacket so Steph could walk over a puddle, which I would, by the way, which I really would. All right, Tony, thank you for that. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Give me some Diamond Dave and we'll go eat some lunch, bro. All right, rock and roll. Tony, I'll see you in about 30 seconds for the Cron thing. Yes. So for everybody else, Lava, Noemi, Humdinger. Oh, good to see you, Leah. How you been, girl? Rags, Dom, Phil Dawson. You know what I'm saying? Stevie B, the whole lot of you guys out there. We'll see you tomorrow night for the night flight. And until then, go Dubs. Enjoy opening night tonight. Yes, Tony? Final thoughts?
Sorry, I just wanted to also let everybody know Brent Jones joining us on Thursday. Our show Thursday will be at high noon. Brent Jones will be joining us in the noon hour on Thursday. So look forward to that. And again, the time for the night flight will not change. That'll still be at 8 p.m. tomorrow night.
And final word of the show goes to my main man, Phil Dawson, who just has a simple 2-word post. Cron Steve. We'll leave it at that. We'll see you tomorrow, Phil, and the rest of you guys. Tony, I'll see you in 30 seconds. Cheers, y'all. Have a great day. All right.
Yeah. So good.